wrestling 2 weeks in a row. I like that. WWE has me very concerned because it's one thing to have a product and get sponsors and make money. That's great. In fact, we'll take whoever. But the overabundance of it does get to a point. And it's clear this version of WWE, run by TKO, who also runs UFC, they don't care about anything other than money. Like, it's fine to care about money, and it's fine to make money. They're a business. But to cut our truth on the same day that you're making a deal with Slim Jim to be the logo in the ring sponsor, which I don't even like that, and then now their logo's on the table so that when they snap a guy through a table, they're snapping him through a Slim Jim table, which is clever, but also is too much. And at some point, it's just going to feel so corporate. I don't like that they're on Netflix. It already feels corporate there. Wrestling should be for the fans. And then, make your money without, shoving it in our face, and they're not doing that. So I'm worried about the product and this R-Truth. Yes, shocking call. Because he's up for anything. He's a fun. It's just so stupid. It's dumb. Any decision where they put the bottom line, but it's the bottom line's not going to be affected. That's the thing. It's like if we got rid of you.
Yeah, if I look like that at 53 years old and you get rid of me, best believe I'm going to Red Hulk on you. And that's collarfold.
Time to cash out.
He beats me straight up. Pay him. Pay that man his money.
All right, I am going to work through my feelings about nepotism when we come back, because I'm not sure if I'm pro or against it. I might be pro. We'll see. Right now, let's get an update. Here's Marco Belletti.
Infinity Sports Network Sports Flash.
All right, Barnett to lead the Knicks to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in a quarter of a century and coming to within 2 wins of an NBA Finals appearance. The Knicks have fired head coach Tom Thibodeau after 5 seasons as coach. Tibbs made the playoffs 4 of his 5 years after the Knicks had missed the playoffs 7 straight and 13 of the last 16 years. Thibodeau ranks 4th on the franchise list for victories. Had just signed a 3-year extension last summer. He still owed more than $30 million. Team that ousted the Knicks, the Pacers, getting ready for the Thunder in Game 1 on Thursday for the Finals. And Jalen Williams not about to take Indiana lightly despite being a heavy favorite.
Mark made a really good point. They are feeling the exact same way we feel. You know what I mean? They've had to win 3 series. We've had to win 3 series. So they're coming in extremely confident. We're coming in confident. So it should be really fun. But yeah, that drives their thing, I think, just like their pace. And, you kind of saw it just wear down the Knicks a little bit.
Baseball, a couple games still going. You got the Twins all over the A's, 9-3. They're in the top of the 8th. And the Mets clinging to a 5-4 lead on the Dodgers, bottom of the 8th inning. But LA has 2 on and nobody out with Freddie Freeman at the plate. Juan Soto with a 2-run shot. Max Muncy, a 2-run homer for LA. Everything else done is the D-backs getting some instant offense from the top of their lineup.
Here's the 3-0. Swung on, ripped again to deep right field. This one headed towards the top of the wall. That is a home run. Oh my goodness, Ketel's second home run of the ball game. Just a laser shot. He's got 10 on the year, and he doubles the lead. It's 4-0.
2 homers apiece for Ketel Marte and Corbin Carroll as the D-backs rocked the Braves 8-3. Call courtesy of the Diamondbacks Radio Network. Rest of your scores: Yankees held off the Guardians 3-2. Carlos Rodon, 7 innings, a 1-run ball with 8 Ks. Orioles dumped the Mariners 5-1. Padres survived the Giants 3-2 and 10. Phillies erased the Blue Jays 8-3. Pair of homers for Trey Turner. Bryce Harper went deep as well. Rays topped the Rangers 5-1. Angels outlast the Red Sox 4-3 and 10. White Sox drove the Tigers 8-1. Astros shut down the Pirates 3-0. Xantz McCullers Jr. struck out 7 over 6 innings, a 2-hit ball. Royals outscored the Cardinals 10-7. Bobby Wood Jr. homer drove in 4. Reds double up the Brewers 4-2. Cubs ripped the Nationals 8-3, and the Rockies up in the Marlins 3-2 to win their first series of the season. I'm Marco Belletti.
Catch the best in sports talk and entertainment with the Infinity Sports Network. Listen live on SiriusXM Channel 375, YouTube, and the free Odyssey app.
If you're like most people, you have no idea what to get Dad for Father's Day. Well, gift idea you could feel really good about. Cardio Mobile 6L is the world's first FDA-cleared 6-lead personal EKG. It can detect 6 of the most common arrhythmias, including atrial fibrillation, a leading cause of stroke. Cardio Mobile is the perfect way for your dad to manage his heart health at home and between doctor's visits. It's small, easy to use, and records right to his phone. He gets 6 views of his heart. That's 6 times the data of any smartwatch at a fraction of the cost. Give your dad a gift that really matters, one that gives peace of mind for you and your dad. And now, for a limited time, Cardia is giving 10% off to all my listeners. Just go to Cardia.com. That's Kardia.com or Amazon and use code 10-6L Infinity. That's the number 10, 6L Infinity to get 10% off your Cardio Mobile 6L in time for Father's Day.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/score. That's ethos.com/score.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Spend your afternoons with Adam Epstein.
In Adam, I think we have the right leader.
Quick pass, run. Quick pass, run. Play action off of that. Take your deep shot.
He's a winner.
AWOD Radio.
He's made an incredible impact everywhere he's been.
What would the ultimate pregame look like? Where's the beer pong gonna be? Where's the twerk sesh?
On Sports Radio 910 The Fan and 105.1 FM.
Fans, Baby Ruth, the official candy bar of the Cincinnati Reds, is the go-to fan favorite treat before, during, or even after the game. Taste the deliciousness of high-quality dry roasted peanuts, rich caramel, and smooth nougat. There's nothing better than enjoying your favorite game with a classic candy bar. So get your hands on your own Baby Ruth bar today at your local Kroger.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, may I ask a few questions? Yeah, of course. Do you have any pets? Yes, we have a dog. Great. Do you have a pool outside? Nope, just a big old backyard. Nice. Another question. Are there any unlocked guns in the home? Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access. Awesome. Yeah. Now, let's just talk about what we can bring for dessert.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council.
You say you'd never give in to a meltdown. Never let kids' toys take over the house. And never fill your feed with kid photos. You'd never plan your life around their schedule. Never lick your thumb to clean their face. And you'd never let them leave the house looking like less than their best. You say you'd never put a pacifier in your mouth to clean it. Never let them stay up too late. And never let them run wild through the grocery store.
Peanuts on aisle 6 and aisle 3.
So when you say you'd never let them get into a car without you there, no, it can happen. 1 in 4 hot car deaths happen when a kid gets into an unlocked car and can't get out. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Oh, I knew to take these dreams and make them mine.
That's exactly how they sound. No, am I actually making any real words? But they could.
Does the do the bumpers come back on the podcast feed?
No, so whoever's listening on the podcast feed, they just hear us, mumbling like morons. It's only for a real-life, real-time experience that people really get to see how dumb we really are.
Because we're singing Creed.
Yes, and the song is Higher, if you want to imagine it in your mind.
No, this is not Higher.
Yes, it is Higher.
Okay. And yeah, it is. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I should know that. I did this the last time I did karaoke. I did this song.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
When was it Higher? They took off with what baseball game? I feel like. What sporting event?
Soar Marlin Soar. Are you thinking of that?
No. There was. Someone kept playing Higher at a sporting event last year, and I have the Yankees in mind, but I know it wasn't them.
Oh.
It's going to bother me. I'm gonna have to go find it.
All right. Have you ever heard Marlins Will Soar?
I don't know what that is.
Creed or Scott Stapp did a song about the Marlins.
I know 2 songs from Creed, and Higher's one of them. The other one's My Sacrifice, and both are because of WWE.
I think this is it.
Oh, okay, there you go. And
then
it was the Rangers, by the way. It was the Rangers when they went on the that World Series run. That's when they were playing Creed's Higher.
I hated Creed, and then I unironically liked them, which turned into me actually liking them. Did you ever hear the mariachi band that the Mets had?
Yes, I did. I did see that one.
So let's go there. Ask can we stay?
It's beautiful.
Can you take me higher?
And they just have that from the TV broadcast. I've been looking for the long version of that forever.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get that, but well, I got no problem with mariachi bands. It's not my timbre, but I am Puerto Rican. My wife is Mexican. It's not like she's listening to mariachi music all the time either. But beautiful instruments. I would say, though, my own critique: those trumpets got to come in harder than that. Guitar, take a step back.
Oh, I liked it. I thought it was very romantic. I thought it came in at a good pace. I will tell you the story of when I last did Higher. for karaoke.
Yeah, and I have to understand, why is that your go-to song? We have 3.5 minutes, so why not? Let's just go ahead and get to the finish line here.
I do have a big nepotism segment planned. Should I push that?
Yeah, push that to 20.
No, we're leading an hour with nepotism.
All right, well, listen, it's not my show. Without you, it's just the show.
Well, I'm gonna take this opportunity to try to work through my feelings how I feel about nepotism.
Sure.
I'm gonna do that on the show. I'm gonna do that coming up.
Lay on my couch.
In a sports way, definitely a sports way, because I've benefited from it, but I also haven't. So we'll get into that. So I go to the Packers-Steelers game in Pittsburgh, and I have a great time. I saw 3 of the 4 quarters of the game because the third quarter I needed a little rest in my seat. So that's all I'm going to say. And then after a nice time of partying, I got to see Renegade. But after a nice time of partying, I went back for a little nappy nap. Okay. And then I woke up and my friends were at a bar and I met them and there was a karaoke bar. And I said, I didn't come this far just to come this far. And so then I said, all right, I'm going to do karaoke. So I did Creed Higher. I'd like to, in the past, I've done Mr. Big B with you. I've done that one. You know that one?
No.
Hold on, little girl. Tell him what he's done to you. Wake up. Da, da, da.
No, I'm sorry. I don't know it.
I'm the one who wants to be with you.
Wow, I thought I knew music. Apparently I don't.
All right, so I did Higher. And as I'm doing Higher, this girl comes up on the stage. I don't know her. She doesn't know me. She comes up on the stage and she grabs a microphone and now she's doing karaoke with me. And this is my moment. I'm the one being brave here. Karaoke in front of strangers as my friends record it and giggle like friends would. I don't know why they were thinking it was so funny. I am an entertainer. And I'm kind of mad that this girl's up here, but whatever. I guess it was her bachelorette party or something. Her friends are going crazy. Okay.
Before you go any further, pre or post Mrs. Winkler?
This is last year, 2 years ago.
Oh, I don't care anymore. All right, go ahead.
So it finishes, and I get down, and then, she gets down. And 30 seconds later, as I'm headed to the bar, and we cross paths, because we went down separate sides of the stage, and we cross paths, and I just say to her, hey, nice job up there. And she goes, get away from me, you creep.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, just when I thought I was out on this story, I'm way back in. What a jerk.
I'm like, you crashed my set. And she goes, ew. And then they walked away. I was pretty mad.
Oh, you should be. I would have threw her drink at her.
Yeah, I was pretty mad. There I was, giving my heart out to the world. And she just treated me just like scum. I don't know that I've ever felt, coincidentally, lower than that. You know I'm going to receive a paycheck for this work?
Oh, yeah, me too.
Like on purpose. It's the Bart Winkler Show.
Clones, listen up. Not all beef jerky is the same. In fact, there are major differences in quality from one brand to the next. Old Trapper is a better way to snack, chock full of good protein to satisfy your manliest hunger cravings. Every bite is better for you and higher in essential protein than chips, sugar-filled energy bars, and candy. Old Trapper in the Clearview bag is the world's finest jerky, made with only the best ingredients. So ask for Old Trapper by name because no other jerky compares. Old Trapper, what's your beef?
Let's move! We have soccer practice, dance, and a play date.
Life moves fast, so every second counts, especially when it comes to big decisions like buying a car. That's why searching through Navy Federal's car buying service powered by TrueCar is a perfect place to start.
Thanks, Mom!
Navy Federal can help you find and finance the right vehicle so you can go wherever life takes you. Visit NavyFederal.org/TrueCar to learn more. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA. Credit and collateral subject.
The new Sports Radio 910 The Fan now at 105.1 FM.
Every moment counts if you're at risk or living with lung cancer. And anyone with lungs can get lung cancer. It causes more cancer deaths than breast, colon, and prostate combined. It can feel like a race against time. And while there may be moments where you question your next step, it's essential to know that you don't have to confront lung cancer alone. Through it all, Go-To for Lung Cancer is here for you. From screening, treatment, and survivorship support to finding the right care close to home, we are your community. As your friends, your guides, your teachers, your advocates, and your support system, Go-To is your go-to. Confronting lung cancer starts here. Visit goto.org today.
At first glance, Terrence and Shania have nothing in common. Terrence is a musician. He is constantly traveling. He is 32 years old, single with no kids, and started smoking when he was 16. Shania, on the other hand, just turned 45. She owns a coffee shop. She is married with 2 kids and has never smoked. What makes Terrence and Shania similar is that they both have been diagnosed with small cell lung cancer, and it was caught early. That's right. Small cell lung cancer can affect anyone. The good news is early lung cancer screenings can detect small cell lung cancer before it spreads, when the disease is most treatable. Join Stand Up to Cancer and Jazz Pharmaceuticals to raise awareness of small cell lung cancer and accelerate the pace of research. Ask your healthcare provider about screening options that might be right for you or a loved one. Visit standuptocancer.org/lung to learn more.
Eating, working, living pain-free. These are a few of the things many of us take for granted. Yet for many United States military veterans, finding and affording oral health care is a challenge. Dental Lifeline Network is looking for dentists who can change this. Will you volunteer to help people like Richard, a U.S. naval veteran who suffered severe PTSD after his service? He was left homeless for a period of time and his oral and overall health are suffering. Because of congressional limitations, the VA can't provide the dental help he needs. Through our Will You See One Vet program, we focus on helping U.S. military veterans like Richard. Now we are seeking more general dentists and specialists to donate treatment to at least one veteran with special needs. When you volunteer with DLN's program to see one vet, we handle the details so you can focus on the care. If you are a dentist or know a dentist, please share this message and help us make a difference in the life of a veteran in need. Visit willyouseeonevet.org to learn more. That's willyouseeonevet.org.
The Native community is big for me. Makes me feel good to pass on our Arapaho traditions. My kids love going up to the Sundance. I like to tell people the Sundance is about family. It's about the tribe. It's not just about the dancer. It's kind of like life. As a Sundancer, I'm just one spoke in the wheel. I need my family there. I need my role models. I need my people there, especially my children. You know, coming in that door, my family is ready to see me and they believe in me. Before, I'd never seen that from my people. But now when I walk in that door and I see those smiling faces and they're happy to see me, that's special. With my 4 kids, all I ask for them in Arapaho ways is health and happiness. Nothing more, nothing less.
Never stop being a dad. That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
From the Pearson Signature Dealership Studio, this is the new Sports Radio 910 The Fan, now at 105.1 FM, WRNL Richmond and WRVQ HD2 Richmond. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Good to be with you. My name is Bart Winkler. Welcome to the Bart Winkler Show. Hey, you can get a hold of us and get on the show at 888-710-4ISN. 888-710-4476. I mentioned last hour that I want to give my thoughts on nepotism. It's a big enough story in sports from time to time that I just want to figure out where I'm at on it. And this is spurred by a story that we saw this week where the Utah Jazz have hired Austin Ainge to be the team's president of basketball operations. This was announced on Monday. Ainge, a familiar name, as in Danny Ainge, as in his dad, who is now with the Jazz as the CEO and alternate governor. The general manager, Justin Zanuck, for the Jazz will remain in the role. And team governor Ryan Smith tells ESPN he envisions the two complementing each other in the day-to-day front office operations. That will go only well. Only good things will happen there. Somebody on Reddit, the NBA Reddit, looked back and tracked down the jobs that Austin Ainge has had in his adult life. He was an assistant coach at Southern Utah. His first coaching gig came under Roger Reed, who was a family friend who had coached with Danny Ainge at BYU and with the Suns. Then he became the head coach of the Maine Red Claws, the Celtics G League affiliate, which was being run, the Celtics, by Danny Ainge. Danny Ainge was the president of basketball operations when he then promoted his son Austin to director of player personnel and then assistant GM. And now, where his dad is the CEO of the Jazz, Austin Ainge has become the president of basketball operations. These jobs would not be had if Austin Ainge was not the son of Danny Ainge. So you could say there's potentially someone out there who would have these jobs without Danny Ainge promoting his kid, or if he didn't have one. So is that fair? Well, in and of itself, it's not fair because the job is going to his kid. But from his kid's standpoint, is it not fair that he should be then disqualified from these jobs if he wants one? That's the question. If he's good enough for these jobs, do you hold it against him because Danny Ainge is his father? What does this remind you of when you think of NBA? Do you think of Bronny James? Bronny James, if he wasn't LeBron James' son, probably would not have been drafted, but a player of his caliber still would have landed somewhere in the G League. I still don't mind how the Lakers played that. I really don't. They got it out of the way. It was a nice moment. LeBron's still a top 20 player in this league. You know, if he can strong arm an organization into drafting my kid, I don't think we're doing enough to like celebrate just how good LeBron is that he can do that at this age. So that's what I've thought about that. I would say that nepotism has played a role in my life when it comes to sports. Back when my dad was a soccer coach. My dad was a soccer coach and I was a goalie, and there was another goalie and we were competing against each other and I won the job. Now, was he better than me, this other goalie? There were things he did better than me. Yes. Would I have been the starting goalie if my dad wasn't the coach? That would have probably gone to the other guy. It probably would have gone to the other guy. Not that I couldn't have earned it, but I do feel like it helped. It certainly did that my dad was the coach. He's had 3 other sons play for him after, and there's been no question that the kids were good enough to play. my family is pretty good at soccer. It's just me, the one that happens to suck, and gave my dad sort of that tough season. But I did have a really good game in the playoffs when I blocked every shot, but we did lose 1-0 because the defender, who was the sweeper in front of me, was really good friends with this other kid, so he saw me having a good game and then took out a guy in the penalty box so that I had to stop a penalty kick, which I did not, and we lost. So that was very dramatic times. Oh, he was also dating the girl that I had dated previously and was still, I had it bad for. So normal high school stuff. Normal high school stuff. So now I'm thinking, okay, now I'm a dad, and what if my son wants to get into radio? What if my son, he's only 5, but what if at some point, if I got a radio job and he wants a radio job, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to discourage him, or do I help to give him a head start? Because I have the tools to do that, and I can help you out. Now, I didn't get into radio by any family means at all. There was no nepotism involved there. There were different businesses that my family's like involved in. My grandpa ran a grocery store. I did work there in high school. And then another part of my family, they like run this little group of hotels. But I never wanted to get in that business. I never wanted to do anything that it would look like, oh, my family got me this job, other than be the high school goalie, of course. But I never wanted to do anything where I just followed the family business. I thought it was important that I kind of went out on my own, or at least made my own identity, did my own job. Whatever I was going to do, I was going to be able to do because I did it. Now, there's connections and help along the way. Absolutely. But I didn't get that nepotism head start that many people do and do well with. Or some people do and they may flounder. So I didn't ever get that. And I didn't want that. But I'm thinking, if my kid is in a position where he would want these opportunities, what should I do about that? I don't know, and I don't think that he'll want to do this. I mean, I'm gonna almost make sure of that, but I don't know what I would do, because I see some people in this business where they like give a chance for their 11-year-old kid to like come with them at work, and it's cool. What a great moment that is, but they're also getting experiences that other kids wouldn't necessarily get. And I don't know how fair that is or not. So as I'm trying to work through my of nepotism based on this Austin Ainge story, I understand why, but why would I not? If I have the opportunity and the means to help out why would I not do that? Why would I not? And then if he was good enough, then yeah, he got the inside track. But he was good enough, he rose up to that. But then again, he's only getting that position because of what position I was in. So it is a head start. So I would rather that not ever come up, but I understand why people want to do it. Why are you not going to help out your kid? And maybe like Danny Ainge, he wants to work with this kid. And you look at Jerry Jones and the whole business, and you look at a lot of owners. We one day went through the whole front office with the Bears, and there's McCaskies all over the place. And why would you not give your opportunity for that? If you've built that, what are you building it for? You're building it for your family, so why not help out your family in the meantime? I understand there's a lot that comes with it. There's a lot of people that would do well with those chances, and that's why I do think like programs to reach out to people who wouldn't get those chances are good. You know, the Rooney Rule is good in theory. I think a lot of teams abuse that or half-heartedly interview candidates that they never wanted in the first place. I would like to see that be utilized better. But why would you not want to give the opportunity to somebody if you've built that path to give the opportunity? So I'm trying to work through just, again, my feelings on nepotism, because there's a lot of it in sports, whether it's broadcasting or coaching or football. I think football's a big one. Football, see, that football coaching, those coaching trees are really... I remember when people would get coaching jobs and you'd be like, oh, he's actually this coach's brother-in-law. And I'd be like, wow, what a crazy coincidence. No, it's not anything close to that. It's these connections, and then you learn and you learn. So how do you balance that with trying to find the right candidates? It's tough. Is Austin Ainge the best guy for the job? I mean, he's got the experience with being with the Celtics for a long time. But then again, also, how did he get that job? Through his dad. So I guess if you are going to benefit from nepotism, you have to prove it. And you have to prove it every day. And you got to work, 2 times as hard. And maybe you give your kid a different last name and just say, oh, no, it's just some kid that I've discovered and he's great. And, wow, I want to work with this kid forever. I'm not sure. So dealing through my thoughts on that. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476 here on the Bart Winkler Show. The other big topic of the day is that Tom Thibodeau was fired. Still kind of hard to believe this one. It makes sense if they have a candidate to replace him lined up, to me. That's where I go on this. If they have a candidate lined up to replace him, that's where I go on this. Some of the candidates that have been thrown out there, Mike Malone, who was previously with the Nuggets, Jay Wright, who was with Villanova, so knows a lot of these guys, Jeff Van Gundy, I mean, that would be a throwback, Taylor Jenkins, previously of the Grizzlies, Dan Hurley's name gets bandied about. He's at UConn. He did not take the Lakers job. They wanted to stay close to home. Look at that. New York is pretty close to home. Rick Brunson is 12-1 odds on something that I saw. Mark Jackson's never going to coach again. I don't know why people keep putting his name on any of these lists. I'm just telling you, if he hasn't coached by now, no one's going to give him a job. Johnny Bryant's another one. He's been an assistant. Now he's with the Cavs. Suns are looking at him. The big question that I have with this whole Thibodeau thing is, and I brought this up last hour in Call or Fold, it does seem like we're getting to the decision point earlier than we used to. We're getting to the decision point on this guy can't do this earlier than we used to. The big one being Luka Doncic. And that was the explanation was, yes, he got us to a finals. And yes, we can continue to build around him. But we just don't think he's the guy. We didn't like how he played defensively. We don't think he's the guy. We are not going to win a finals with him. Well, you were 3 games away. Yes, but we're determining just based on that we are not going to get there. We've seen these guys over and over and over try, and teams do eventually get over the hump. And teams run it back, and you're able to do it. We look at the Jordan Bulls and fantasize that. We saw Andy Reid try to get over the hump. It took 4 times to not make a Super Bowl, or at least not win a Super Bowl. I think it was 4 straight NFC Championship games. And then a few years after that, the Eagles are like, okay, we've seen with real good evidence that you're not going to get us there. You're a great coach, and we like you, and you can get us here, but you can't get us there. Typically, when that decision's been made, it's been made after years of trial and error, years of trying to see if it was going to work or not. Now we're getting to a point, and I don't know if this is going to be a trend or if this is just something that happened in 2 different cases that I'm trying to lump together. But you had a team move on from a star player set to sign a Supermax who made the finals, who you saw in that final say, nope, this ain't it. and then you lucked out and got the number 1 pick. And then with the Knicks, they're at a point here where they say, you've made the Eastern Conference Finals, but you can't get us any further than that. We don't believe you're going to get us any further based on what we're seeing from you. Now, you've been here a few years, so it's not like one and done, but this is a really good time for the Knicks to add to the roster, add some depth. The East is pretty vapid right now where you can get through there. There's teams that are hurt. There's teams that are mediocre. There's not a lot of challenges next year. Yes, Indiana will probably be back, and yes, the Cavs will probably be back, but then there's the Knicks, and then who else? I'm not taking a Celtics team without Jason Tatum. I'm not taking a Bucks team without Damian Lillard and maybe without Giannis Antetokounmpo. So you've decided, based on him getting you to this spot, and by the way, game 1, that Halliburton shot goes off the back of the rim. That bounces up. If that doesn't go down, do the Knicks win this series? Does he get his job? I tend to believe that they could have gotten to the finals just like Luka, lost the finals, and then they would have moved on anyway. Because I don't think the Pacers are going to win the finals, and I don't think the Knicks would have won the finals. So would they have moved on? Could he have saved his job? We thought if he won, the first series, did well against the Celtics, okay, let's run it back. But they beat the Celtics, took the Pacers to 6, let's run it back, but no. So I wonder if this is going to be a trend. And in the NBA, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't. We got coaches that are winning finals and then getting relieved of their duties. If you look at the last 8 coaches of the year, so this year was Kenny Atkinson. Obviously, he is still the coach. And then the year before that, Mark Daigneault, and he has a chance to win the NBA Finals. But the year before that was Mike Brown with the Kings, and now he's no longer there. The year before that was Monty Williams with the Suns. He is no longer there. The year before that was Tom Thibodeau, obviously just getting relieved of his duties. Nick Nurse with Toronto, no longer there. Mike Budenholzer with Milwaukee, no longer there. And then there was the year Dwayne Casey won 59 games, Coach of the Year, and they said, no, we're going to go ahead and go with Nick Nurse. So maybe this has been a trend that has been happening for a while, and we are now seeing that this is something that is more of a trend than it is in the first place. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Info guy tweets, hey, buddy, I've grown several businesses, and I'm going to pass them down to my sons. It's not nepotism. That's such a weak term. It's called, hey, man, you're part of the family. You're part of the ownership. Let's move along and stop the drama. Sorry that I seem to have scratched an itch. We'll be back. It is the Bart Winkler Show.
If you're like most people, you have no idea what to get Dad for Father's Day. Well, here's a gift idea you could feel really good about. Cardia Mobile 6L is the world's first FDA-cleared 6-lead personal EKG. It can detect 6 of the most common arrhythmias, including atrial fibrillation, a leading cause of stroke. Cardia Mobile is the perfect way for your dad to manage his heart health at home and between doctor's visits. It's small, easy to use, and records right to his phone. He gets 6 views of his heart. That's 6 times the data of any smartwatch at a fraction of the cost. Give your dad a gift that really matters, one that gives peace of mind for you and your dad. And now, for a limited time, Cardia is giving 10% off to all my listeners. Just go to Cardia.com. That's Kardia.com or Amazon and use code 10-6L Infinity. That's the number 10, 6L Infinity to get 10% off your Cardia Mobile 6L in time for Father's Day.
You need parts? We got parts. Product availability? Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Get 1 free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select brake pads for $10 more, or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or Import Direct pads for just $20. Offer in-store only. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Everyone has a fave Wendy's Frosty flavor. And when you're choosing from chocolate or vanilla, it's not that hard. But now, there's all new Frosty Swirls and Frosty Fusions. So try picking your fave from Oreo Brownie Fusion, Pop-Tarts Strawberry Fusion, Strawberry Swirl, Brownie Batter Swirl, Caramel Swirl, and Caramel Crunch Fusion. Not so easy now, huh? For a fresh way to Frosty, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary by location. Oreo is a trademark of Mondelez International Group. Pop-Tarts is a trademark of Kellogg North America Co., LLC. Used with permission.
Spend your afternoons with Adam Epstein.
In Adam, I think we have the right leader.
Quick pass, run. Quick pass, run. Play action off of that. Take your deep shot.
He's a winner.
AWOD Radio.
He's made an incredible impact everywhere he's been.
What would the ultimate pregame look like? Where's the beer pong gonna be? Where's the twerk sesh?
On Sports Radio 910 The Fan and 105.1 FM.
Guest. The WNBA on Ion all season long. From moments.
Caitlin Clark.
To momentum. Point guards. No, point guard.
Vintage Chelsea Gray.
Not only good.
Way downtown.
But GOAT. From every bucket.
Buries it.
To every block.
Denied at the rim.
From the court to the culture. Greatness doesn't wait. It takes over.
Showtime.
Find Ion wherever you watch. Ion. It's on.
Shop Lowe's Memorial Day deals, including 40% off select major LG appliances. Plus, save an extra $50 on every $500 you spend on select major LG appliances $396 or more. Like LG refrigerators with slow melting craft ice. Just what you need for next level entertaining with family and friends all summer long. Lowe's, we help, you save. See associate for more details. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Exclusions apply. Valid 5/15 through 6/4.
Just one bite of the deliciously comforting flavor of easy cooking Eckrich smoked sausage is enough to take you all the way home. It takes you back to Grandma's famous sausage casserole made in her favorite pan. Its naturally hardwood smoked taste sends you away to those summer days with Dad at the grill. Take a bite and see for yourself that home isn't just a place, it's a taste, and we think you'll like it here. Eckrich.
I never realized that I'd be taking care of a 2-year-old and a 9-year-old on my own. I think men can be a little stubborn sometimes where pride gets in the way and they may want the help, they may not know how to ask. With my traditions, with the family support in line, and just with my mind frame, I was able to turn a negative into a positive. I knew I needed more tools in my toolbox to take care of these little girls that had just lost their mother. It's time for me to be that father that I knew I could be. I think just being that good role model as well, that models good behavior in front of them, going to work every day, coming home and being able to put on that smile. The biggest reward about being a dad is sitting back and watching your kids be happy.
Never stop being a dad. That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Our workforce needs work. I'm Holly Robinson Peete. Join me delivering jobs and the Society for Human Resource Management in creating pathways to 1 million jobs for those with intellectual and developmental differences.
To learn more, please visit deliveringjobs.org.
32.
The smart thing that you're doing right now is having your son in the Spanish immersion course.
But he's got 3 weeks left of it, and then he goes to regular old school where we just say, howdy, folks, what's hanging?
Well, he better start hanging out with Jose and Pedro and not lose that skill because that can open up a lot of doors for him, especially at Home Depot. If he help painting a fence, getting some lumber into the car, it would be very valuable for him to learn Spanish.
Can I say anything you just said in the last 30 seconds?
I don't know if you can, but I get a pass.
Yeah.
I know the hypocrisy of things.
It's the Bart Winkler Show on the Infinity Sports Network.
It is the Bart Winkler Show, 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. I'll never forget where I was January 1st, 2012. I saw Matt Flynn start a game for the Green Bay Packers against the Detroit Lions. Matt Flynn threw for 480 yards and had 6 touchdowns in a 45-41 victory, which set Packers records. In the offseason, Flynn then signed a 3-year deal with the Seahawks worth $20 million. Again, this is 15 years ago. $9 million guaranteed. So the Seattle Seahawks signed him to be their starter. Now, they had a quarterback competition. Tavares Jackson was the starter a year before. And then Russell Wilson was taken in the 3rd round. Russell Wilson won that job. Flynn, the next offseason, was traded to the Oakland Raiders and never really did get a chance to be a starting quarterback. Ended up with Buffalo, ended up back in Green Bay, some practice squad stints, and then ended his career with the Saints. I bring that up to bring up Sam Darnold. As Sam Darnold, not great the other day in the Seahawks' 4th day of OTAs. So, organized team activities. It's our first chance at football, okay, in a while. We need it. We had the Super Bowl, okay. We get some combine stuff and pro days, all right. Then the draft, that's cool, but it's not football. This is football. We get to see guys put on helmets and jerseys of NFL teams we know, and then we get to see them play. No, it's not a full game. It's not anything like a game. It's 7-on-7 simulated drills, simulated time, simulated situation. But we got to see it. And on the 4th day of OTAs, the first day it was open, Darnold had 2 interceptions in a span of 3 plays in the red zone. He also had several plays that fizzled with the quarterback holding on to the football. Now, when you're in this position, reporters can see it. They can write it up. They can tell you about it. It's 2025. We have got video everywhere, so they take the video. And then the video circulates around Seahawks fans, and they think, oh, my God, what have we done? If you remember how Darnold was in the last couple of games that he played, especially against the Lions, there were a lot of drives that stalled in the red zone. A guy who was an MVP candidate for much of the season then stalled when he got to the red zone, and now the very next time we see him post-playoffs in a new uniform, which he signed a nice deal to go there, the same things are bothering him even in a more calm setting. So is it something that we should worry about? Is it something that we should discuss? Is it something that we should ask the coach about? Well, on Seattle Sports 710 AM, head coach Mike McDonald was asked exactly about that.
Is there anything that could happen other than an injury between now and the beginning of the season that would lead to a different quarterback?
No, you guys are crazy.
There's no way to ask the question without sounding like an idiot.
Like, I respect you got to ask it, but you guys, it's just a crazy question. There's just not going to, Sam's our starting quarterback. We love him. He's doing a tremendous job. I think it's funny that the media is out there for the first day, and all of a sudden they know exactly how good we're going to be and how good all the players are and all the tempos. We don't even put on pads yet.
And I like that the question was asked in a way I know I sound stupid, but also, is there anything? I think you can ask that question without having the bad tape that Sam Darnold may have had the other day. I think you can ask that question without having the bad tape. It still seems weird because, who's going to beat him out? Drew Lock? Probably not. Jalen Milroe. Okay, he's a draft pick, 3rd rounder. Are you ready to give him the reins right away? But it has happened with this organization. So maybe Mike McDonald had nothing to do with Seattle back then, but if you're a Seattle fan and you've seen this, even though the situations may not be related at all, it's something that you have seen. And so, I do not hate the question being asked. We probably shouldn't be able to watch these practices. These are practices. And I know we're thirsty for it and we want to see what we can. And we've got the countdown now. I believe we're on 94 days until the start of the season. And we want anything that we can get. But we're going to overreact or underreact in a certain way. McDonald went on to say, God forbid you're the worst player of all time because you make one bad throw or one bad decision. That's not what we're trying to build. We want these guys to go prepare the right way. And when they go out on the practice field, let it rip, and then we'll fix it. We've got time. It's June 3rd. They're going to get plenty of reps. We'll get those things fixed. I've always been cautious in criticizing practices, in criticizing even preseason games, because sometimes starters will go out there to work on something. Like, okay, our mission in this game is try to go through your progressions or try to focus on a relationship with the number 1 or number 2 receiver, or try not to throw until you've gone through 2 progressions and hit your third guy. Like, try to do that kind of stuff, or be a little, more loose than you would be. Let's try to open it up, see what that's like. I think those situations occur, but we never know when they do. And then if they play well, they're not going to be like, oh, actually, we were just working on something. And if they play bad, they're not. They don't say that either. But I do think, especially in these kind of practices, it's like, okay, let's play around a little bit. I'm with a new team. What can I get used to? I'm going to kind of think of what I was thinking of with Minnesota. I'm going to try to apply that here. How does it work out? I don't think, especially this early, any of this kind of stuff is supposed to be criticized. The same way I don't think there's a lot of video that I saw about J.J. McCarthy. And he's doing pretty good in these mini camp sessions. And I don't want to read too much into that either, because what are we up against? Maybe the defense is doing something different. Maybe they want J.J. McCarthy to look good. You never know. You never know. So I don't want to read in to too many of these scenarios. The Seattle thing's a little interesting just because, and unfair to everybody involved, it's happened there. I do wonder if there are other situations where you could see a surprise guy sort of steal reps from a starter in training camp, barring injury. Outside of injury, anything that we could see from now until things get started for real. Just going through the teams, I'm not sure there's a lot of those situations. I could rank them in order of what would be the most chaotic, but I'll just go through them here. Okay, don't hate me, but I still believe that there is some talent left in Zach Wilson. I think he can be one of these guys that's a reclamation project like we've seen, like the former Jets thing, a Geno Smith or a Sam Darnold. I don't think he's taken the job away from Tua, though, making $55 million. But I am curious to watch him in camp. The Jets, speaking of, they've got Justin Fields, but I don't know who they really have challenging him. Tyrod Taylor there to be a veteran guy. Adrian Martinez, remember him from Nebraska. I think he's probably safe in that situation. We know that the Colts brought in Daniel Jones to challenge Anthony Richardson. I think you got to just let Anthony Richardson run with it, but the Colts are kind of going the challenge way. That's their prerogative. I don't entirely love it. Maybe Riley Leonard out of Notre Dame puts his hat into the ring. Geno Smith, the former Seahawk. Could Aiden O'Connell win that job back? Or they like Cam Miller, this guy they drafted in the 6th round. I'm just trying to wonder, because back to Matt Flynn and Russell Wilson, nobody thought we would get to the point where Seattle spends a bunch of money in the offseason and then go with a guy that they drafted in the 3rd round. That exact thing could happen here. I don't think it does. That was probably a different case, and we saw what Russell Wilson turned out to be. But that was something that took us by surprise as we dug into it. Again, I am not saying that any of this will happen. I'm just looking at where maybe